standpoint is I think white women should be able to wear braids or cornrows or anything. I think this only angers a lot of black women because white women feel comfortable wearing a style that they won't wear in their own natural hair.
Mm, I see.
Yes, think about it. They want to look like Becky and act black. But when I see a weave, most of the time when I see a black woman wearing a weave, regardless of the color, I see somebody who's mentally unstable.
Mm,
Like if you think about it, why would you say, well, we don't want to look white, we don't like white people, but you want to wear the same grade of hair? You
right.
want to say, well, it's culture appropriation, but you're wearing hair that's coming from East Asian women who sometimes shave it off for cultural reasons. Sometimes they shave it off because they need money. Even if you're wearing synthetic, it's something wrong, and I don't think it makes black women look any better. You can
Right.
see the lumps under their weave. You can see the hair. It looks like their hair is sitting like 8 miles on top of their scalp, or you see these bumps to the side like the edge of a table, and then when they take it off, they look in the mirror and they say, ew, I look ugly. One of the girls earlier, she came up and she said, well, not everybody can rock a cornrow look. That's very wrong because if white women do it and they do it so well that black women get enraged because they realize they're ashamed of their blackness. They might not be insecure, but they're ashamed of their blackness. There's
Right.
nothing wrong with their hair. I wear an afro, I have 4C hair, and guess what? Women talk about, well, it takes a long time for us to do our hair. It takes me less than 20 minutes to detangle my hair. I have 4C hair. I don't use any heat on it. I use a spray ball and some Redken leave-in.
But
I
that
twist my
sucks.
hair up.
The reason why it takes you such little time is because you regularly take care of your hair. These black
Yes.
women they wear wigs 24/7, and then a month later they go to redo their hair, and then they're like, "Oh, it takes all day." Of course, it's going to take all day if you
Mhm.
haven't done your hair in about 2 months.
Yes, I see these black women jumping in the shower on some of these videos talking about, let's wash my weave with me. And it's still on their head. And they don't realize the damage they're doing to the real precious hair under their scalp. That hair is put there genetically for a reason. And then I hear black women talk about, well, you know what? We've got black women that grow straight hair. No, we might have what are those Ethiopians and they have curly fine hair.
Right.
That's not genetically straight. And anybody who's of dark skin, that straight hair is like in the top 1%. That is not the norm for the average black woman here in America. Because let me tell you something. If something were to happen where they took a lot of those weaves and wigs off the market and black women could not wear that hair, they would look at themselves and they would say, I'm ugly. What can I do? How can I hide this? How
Right.
can I hide this? If you really thought you were beautiful, why do you feel the need to wear it? They wear it like an epidemic. That's a costume. We get twisted over white women wearing cornrows because it makes black women kind of confront themselves. They don't want to come to the realization that they don't really like themselves. And I notice a lot of them have a very bad attitude problem. They can't speak, they can't put their thoughts coherently together. It's like wearing that weave is doing something to their head. And I'm not religious, but on a spiritual, for the lack of better words, on a spiritual level, they're doing something to their soul and their mind when they put that on top of their real hair.
And it's crazy that you say that because when we go out to film in public, the women that we film that are wearing their natural hair, they have
Mhm.
such a peaceful vibe. They're always nice. But the women
Absolutely.
that are wearing the wigs and the fake Kennecolon hair and all of this, those are the ones that make the viral moments because they get so upset because I asked a simple question.
That's because they don't want to verbally admit to themselves that they think they're ugly. And that is a thing that it's hard to look at your shadow and do a lot of shadow work. Because when
Right.
you look at history and you have the Tignon, I believe it's called the Tignon Law, where black women were forced to cover their hair. Our hair was competition. Our natural so-called nappy and kinky hair was competition to white women to the point we had to hide it. We
Right.
have a lot of trouble these days as people of colored skin. We shouldn't be, it should be almost an act of resistance to wear our natural hair.
Right.
It really should be. Even the texture, whether it's a 3 or 4, there's coil, there's strength to that coil. I mean, people genetically, we are the way we are because of certain environments. And when I see Black women wearing these weaves, I see self-hatred, I see jealousy. I see a lot of jealousy. They're not insecure, they're jealous of white women. They want to look like Becky. They don't want to act like her, they want to look like her. But they don't want to wear the cornrows because then it drives the point home that they're just African American or just Black. And there's nothing wrong with that. The more we stray away from that identity, the more misconstrued, the more weirder we get. I think it's mental illness. Getting into a shower and you want to show love and care to something that's not growing out your scalp.
Right. It's crazy though, because imagine you putting somebody else's hair on your head and you go to wash it every single night like it's your own. That is insane.
It is crazy. I see them flat ironing it. They're using expensive flat irons. And I'm like, good God, I've got natural hair. I might spend $30 a month on and not even every month because these products last me. And I'm not usually using let me see. I use Paul Mitchell and Redken. Those are so-called expensive, but I buy it once and I probably only need to buy it 2 or 3 times a year.
Right.
It's easy. And when I grew up as a kid, I grew up around a lot of white people. My mother, when I was older, she wore a lot of braids at the time because it was like early 2000s. She told me this, and my mother was a light-skinned woman. She wore braids. She wore perms. She said, Autumn, when I took those braids out, I would look in the mirror and say, I'm ugly. She said the braids did something to me. And she admitted it, even though she went on to wear it for many years afterwards. Black women do not want to do the shadow work. And that's why a lot of Black people are in a certain position they are now. If we can get this stuff off of our head, the better. There's something attached to the weaves and the wigs that's holding the Black community back, especially Black women, because we are a pillar in the community. We're the ones, we can make a lot of sense. But we're just sitting up here suppressing our hair, just like racist laws many years ago told us to do. And now we're going to keep doing it. And then we're going to say, well, we want to have self-expression. No, you're expressing self-hatred and jealousy. And I see when you talk to these people, they stutter a lot. They can't make any kind of valid point. And I can hear it in their voice. It's like you can hear the energy. They want to say, my hair, I'm ugly with my natural hair. If I wear it straighter, I can accept myself. They might not really care about a stranger accepting them, but they can look in the mirror and feel confident about themselves. And I think that is sad. It's okay to spruce yourself up once in a while, but when you keep putting on a generational curse, it is going to come and bite you in the ass. Do you know how embarrassing it is to be around people and people looking like, yeah, we know that's not her hair. Right. We know that's not her hair.
Other races laugh at Black women when they put on the wigs, but you guys don't know this. But I told that to the other girl, and she said, oh, we don't care. And it's crazy to me.
It is crazy because when I started wearing my natural hair, this was about 10 years ago. I'm 32 years old. I lived in the South. I lived in Atlanta, North Carolina. I lived around a lot of white people. Even white people would stop and look at our hair and all and say, oh, we love your hair. Black people, one Black woman nearly took off her wig. I saw her wig cap because she looked at our hair and got inspired. Our hair is not ugly. A lot of people we weren't taught how to deal with our hair. Therefore, our default is to hide it. And I understand that because I used to be there too. But now when you do a lot of shadow work, when you look at yourself and say, you know what? I don't need the extra stuff. I like the way I am. I'm happy. I can do this differently. I do twist outs on my hair and I wear a huge afro. I get stopped. I get looked at. I've had white cops stop and look. They didn't bother me. Black women need to realize when you put on that weave, you take a sense of protection off of you. There's a sense of protection when you wear that hair. If there's a cop on the road and he wants to stop somebody, he's going to be more energetically apt to stop a woman wearing weave because he's going to look at the woman with weave and say, She probably got drugs in her car. Oh yeah, I can get her real good. He's not gonna really want to stop somebody with big natural hair because he's gonna think that person's probably educated. She's probably got a camera in her car and she's probably gonna spit the law at me like bullets. A lot of people need to know what you will wear, what you do will attract. And the hair, the crown is very important. Black women, especially during these times, are very important. Bring the natural hair back. It will protect you. It will protect your energy. It will protect your health. It's just, it's a mental illness when you're wearing a costume every day. And that's what a wig and a weave is. It's a costume. White women, they're not wearing costumes. They might put their hair in braids. They don't walk around all the time in box braids. Even Black women are calling them dookie braids now. They don't even want to wear box braids.
Right. It's crazy. I just see so much shame when it comes to natural hair. Like every time I'm on TikTok, I see like girls shaming other Black women for their natural hair, but nobody ever shames the wigs and the weaves, even though some of these wigs and weaves look crazy. Just like this one, where I go out in Walmart and I see Black women with just frizzy, like straight wigs, but because it's a straight wig, it's okay, and then it's acceptable.
I literally went into a Kroger and there was a girl who was ringing up my groceries. Her lace in the front was lifted, and you saw the crust of the makeup, and you saw her hair under the weave. I think, and I won't stay too long because I know there's other people, especially there's a girl named Isabella who wants to come on.
Yeah, I've been seeing her. I might just let her up at the same
Yeah,
time.
let her on up. But yeah, I think Black women need to step away from the weave and breathe and think because then they're going to see certain things around them. The world will open up. I've never been bullied about my natural hair, and I'm 4C. I don't put any chemicals or heat in my hair.
And that's the thing about it. Like every time I speak to a Black woman that wears her hair natural, she says, I've gotten the most compliments today than I ever did. But
Mhm.
but the women who don't wear their hair natural, they're like, oh, we get shamed when you don't even wear your hair natural enough.
Yeah, I've
Somebody-
never been shamed. Never been shamed. It's weave is very shameful because you got tens of thousands of people probably pass you every day and they silently say, we know that's not her hair. It's shameful. And they don't want to let that go. But yeah, let me let Isabella speak her piece. I'm so glad I talked to you. I saw you were in the DMV. I'm local in DC. And I like that you're bringing up these discussions. These discussions are very important.
100%. Hopefully, I run into you one day and we can get an interview like on the street or something.
If I see you, I'm totally gonna run you down. See you.
Isabella, what is your standpoint?
Okay, I'm sorry. I just think that white women shouldn't wear braids, and it's okay for Black women to wear wigs and like express herself in that way. And why I say Black women, I mean, not Black women, but white women shouldn't wear braids, it's because braids are, it's a cultural thing. Like back in the day when women like in slavery would wear cornrows and stuff like that, it was a cultural thing. That's how they escaped slavery and all that. But now white women want to wear it today. That's why we don't want them to wear it, because it's a cultural thing. Wigs though, like wigs are different. Okay? And white women like Alabama Barker, she shows that she definitely wants to be a Black woman. But when she wears wigs and she like gets lip fillers to make her lips big and things like that, she doesn't get shamed.
Well, I don't agree with the lip fillers either. I think people should be who they were born to be, white or Black. But as far as I don't know why you guys keep saying it was cultural and Black people use these braids to get out of slavery, because like who taught you that?
Did you not go to high school?
No, ma'am. Who taught you that?
About the braids?
Yes.
I learned that in school. Did you not go to high school?
They did not teach that in school.
Okay, look it up. Look it up. It's true. Because that's how women, well, not just women, but Black people escaped in slavery.
Okay.
That's how they escape slavery.
Even if they
They
did,
put the roots in their hair, and that's why it's such a big thing for women, for white women to wear cornrows, because it's such a cultural thing and it's a part of Black women. And I don't get why you keep picking at Black women, like, oh, wigs, oh, all these wigs, they just want to be white women. And it's just weird. It's just weird.
I'm not saying that Black women didn't use those braids, or Black people didn't use those braids to get out of slavery and draw different maps. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. I asked you who taught you that, because I truly believe.
I told you who taught me that.
No,
in
I
school.
Truly believe it's TikTok and the internet, because every Black woman that comes up here regurgitates the same thing. When I was in school, about like 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it was, they did not teach that.
Okay, well, that's when you were in school. Okay,
so
today is different. Today, they did teach that in school. How about y'all look that up real quick? How about y'all do y'all research, please? Please do that. And with the crusty wigs, okay, with the crusty wigs, that's not all the time. Okay, that's not all the time.
I think she was talking about a comment that you made, Charlie. Is it Charlie?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you were talking
They
about,
didn't teach that in school. How about y'all look it up, please?
Wig that was lifting. I think she was talking about that comment.
Yeah, like that's not all the time. I get it. Some people do have crusty wigs, but it's just some people don't really know how to maintain them, and that's fine. And I'm a natural girly myself. I don't wear wigs. I don't wear braids often, but when I do,
people then if you don't wear it, if you don't wear wigs and braids or fake hair often, then why are you defending them?
Because when I see these things, it's just so irritating, because why does it matter so much?
Because a lot of people had to fight for us to wear our hair. Certain people back in the day were killed if we wore our natural hair. Our natural hair was competition to white women. If we wore our hair out, we would be hung or killed. And we had a lot of people who fought.
Oh man, Jesus Christ.
That is like a middle finger to our ancestors who fought really hard so we can wear our natural hair. Our
people can't do nothing no more. Let my girls wear their wigs. Let my girls express themselves the way they want to. Stop picking at Black women for the way they want to be.
But a lot of Black people are not in the position right now to be wearing wigs and weave. We have a lot of issues in the Black race. We still face a lot of racism. And when we put that wig and weave on our hair, we're saying F you to people like Martin Luther King, people who come before us to fight for our Blackness. They didn't fight for weaves. They fought for the dark skin, the people who were too colored, the people who were darker than a paper bag, the ones with the so-called nappy hair and beady beads. So we could wear that in peace and be us and be free like everybody else. Mexican people wear their hair out. Asian people wear their hair out. White people wear their hair out. We need to do the same too. We need to put ourselves on a pedestal. We need to put ourselves on a pedestal so much that 4C wigs come into style. But that's not happening. When we put that thing on our head called a wig or a weave, we are going back in time. And why would we waste the suffering of the people that came before us?
Exactly. Oh, did she leave? I didn't even notice that. That's crazy.
People don't want to hear the truth when they're confronted with the truth.
Right.
They'll just leave. And I understand people want to look good, they want to express, but there's a deeper meaning that a lot of people are not strong enough or willing to understand. It's not kumbaya. We have people who are wrongly accused of things just because of their skin color. When we put that weave on, we're going back in time. We're going back. People, it's just, ugh. And yes, I know I do say the same things over and over again, but I want to say that because I want to drill this into people's heads. Wearing your hair out is honoring your ancestors. And we need to do that. Because if somebody got on here and said, fuck Martin Luther King, excuse my language, we would get on that person. If anybody said anything bad about the Black leaders that came before us and died for us, they would get all in arms, rightfully so. So Black women in particular don't need to touch the weave or wig because we need to make a statement.
Exactly. Mocha, what is your standpoint? Why did you ask to come up?
I asked to come up because I'm from Africa, and the topics that you were talking about, particularly about Black women wearing wigs and pouring cornrows under the wigs, I see that a lot. I'm half African, half American, and when I came to America, I've seen also a lot of white women wear wigs. And where I'm from, it's very normal for Black women to put wigs on their hair or anything. It's not meaning that you don't want to take care of your hair or you don't like your hair. It's just you want to put wig on for the day. What I've seen is that most people where I'm from don't care. They don't bat an eye. But here in this country, everyone cares what the Black woman has on her head. I've seen so many debates, not even just about hair, about makeup, about eyelash on Black woman, but all these things that you people be debating about on Black woman, I see on white women all the time. All the time. Why do you people care what is on a Black woman? If it's a white woman now wearing wig, no one will care. But now, if a Black woman is wearing wig, someone cares.
Think about it. If a white or if a Becky, if she was wearing a Afro wig, do you think she would get hate for that?
You said if a white woman was wearing what?
An Afro wig that looks like your natural hair. How would you think black women would feel about that?
Oh yes, because why is she wearing an Afro wig if she's white?
Exactly. So why? That's the same thing when you guys put on straight wigs. This is how we feel about it as Black men and other people, even white women. They look at you guys like you're crazy. So why do it?
But my point is that it's just a style. Whether or not a Black woman puts wig on her hair doesn't necessarily mean she's insecure.
Okay, but it's just a style when you put on a straight wig, but when she wants to put on an Afro wig, it's not a style anymore.
Me personally, I don't care.
When she wants to wear cornrows, it's not a style anymore. She can't do it. Why?
Where I'm from, if someone wants to put on braids, nobody cares. I've seen many white women go into braiding shops to get their hair done. Money is money, sha. No one cares. But what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter. The matter of wigs and putting wigs on, it doesn't necessarily mean someone is insecure if they want to wear a wig. It doesn't mean somebody's insecure. It could simply mean they just want to change style. They just want to do something. I also agree that people should love their hair and their natural hair. And I've seen many sad stories of people wearing wigs and the hair underneath deteriorates because they don't take care of their hair. But putting on a wig, whether putting on wigs and weaves, does not necessarily mean that you're insecure or that you're trying to hide your natural hair.
It also could mean that you're lazy. If you're not insecure, you're just plain lazy and you don't want to do your hair.
Well, that doesn't mean that you're lazy either. What if someone just wants to put on a wig and they're like, "Oh, I just want to try it out"? Is that wrong for them to do?
That is not happening. They're not just trying out a wig. You guys are wearing wigs most of the year, and your hair is.
You guys. This is it's generalizing everybody. Like if everybody that's wearing wigs is wearing them until the wig falls off the bone. Not everybody is doing that. Not everybody is doing that.
When we're talking about people, we have to talk in majorities. And majority of Black women who wear wigs are wearing them most of the time. They're not just wearing it here and there. Because the ones who actually like their hair, they don't even really want to put that on. Unless it's like one day out of the year if they go to a prom or something like that. But even then, if they like their natural hair, they don't even want to put it on. This is why when you ask a lot of white women, even though I know they wear fake hair, but if you ask them, a lot of them, most of them do not wear wigs. Most of them have never worn a wig until they get up in age and they start like balding or something like that. But Black women wear wigs at the young ages of 5, 6, 7, 8. and it doesn't make any sense.
Okay, that part I do agree with. That I think it's too normalized for young girls to be wearing fake hair. I do agree with that part. But at the end of the day, I feel like people should do what they want with their hair. If the white woman wants to wear braids, let her wear braids. If she wants to wear Afro wig, let her wear Afro wig. And if the black woman wants to wear a wig, a straight wig that's blonde, let her wear it. I think we should talk about the deeper issue with this. We shouldn't be mad at a black woman just because she wants to wear her hair in a wig.
But do you know how much money black women spend on wigs every single year?
How much?
Thousands of dollars on fake hair.
Mm-hmm.
Literally thousands of dollars. So you're talking about a different, deeper issue. No, this is the deeper issue. It starts from the small things like wigs, and it accumulates. And where do you think all your money is going? To pointless things like a wig.
But why does it matter that much? It's just a wig on someone's head. It's just a wig on someone's head. You're not buying it.
But can you if you want to wear a wig, why can't you wear an Afro wig as a black woman?
There's lots of black women that wear Afro wigs. That's another thing.
I
Lots of
listen.
black women wear wigs that are like natural, kinky color, like kinky or whatever. They're not just, wearing straight wigs. Lots of black women wear wigs that look like natural hair. So what's wrong with that? Is there a problem with that also for them to wear wigs that look like natural hair?
No, I would say there is an issue with that because you're still trying to cover up, but I would say that's less of an issue because at least you're still trying to look like how you naturally look. But most women today are not wearing 4C Afro wigs. They're wearing straight wigs today. Most of them.
I would say it's a mix. And this is coming from someone who literally works with people, works doing hair. I would say it's a mix. I don't think it's just like there's not a big majority. I think it's a mix. I really do.
When my mother lost her hair about 15 years ago from a box dye and she had patches of missing hair, she wanted a Afro wig. When she went to the beauty supply, she asked, "Can you show me something that looked like my daughter's hair?" They said, "No, we don't got that." That's what the Asian man said. She said, "Why don't you got hair that look like my daughter's hair? I want an Afro." He said, "People don't want that. The black women don't want that. They think it's ugly. They come here for straight hair." So yeah, I have seen very, very few people wear an Afro wig. And when they do, it's usually a costume. It's usually like you're going to a 70s or 80s themed party. It's not something that they would wear every day. I think when people see black women wear it so much, it's an epidemic. They see black women trying to hide a part of their identity. And in return, that makes a lot of black women monstrous. It takes their intelligence away.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. You said that the wig takes their intelligence away. How does it do that?
Because you have to look in you have to get up, you have to look in the mirror at yourself. You're looking and saying, "I need a wig because my hair that I was born with doesn't look like this. It doesn't look straight. I don't look good with this hair. I look
Wait,
ugly.
Wait, I'm
Therefore,
sorry.
I'm going to enhance my beauty or whatever they think is left of it with something it's not theirs." I felt prejudice once when I was a kid. I was a small kid, and I threw this rope on top of my head. It was like this long braided rope. I was a kid. I said, "This is my hair now. You can't take it off and you can't shampoo it. It has to stay just like this." That was very unhealthy. I grew up with a very unhealthy mindset towards my hair. I wonder why it didn't hang like the white girls, why they had it so easy. My mother didn't, she said this herself. My mother said, "No one taught me how to do my hair." And the influences she had were people around her always straightening their hair or curling their hair, not afro texture. So when she had me, I wasn't taught, I don't want to curse, I wasn't taught anything. So I thought it was a defect. I looked in the mirror, I saw my 4C hair and said, What's wrong with me? Is there something wrong? How come the brushes don't work in my hair? How come I can't wear my hair like that? I was gorgeous the entire time.
Can I say something?
I had wasted about 15 years of my life looking in the mirror thinking I was ugly. Now that I know how to do my hair and how easy it is, I feel great sadness and regret for the child in me. And I wish somebody would have saved me much younger.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Um, so I'm sorry that you had to deal with all of that and everything, but that's you. That's you. I feel like, don't take this the wrong way, but I feel like that's kind of like projecting a bit, because not every Black woman that puts on a wig is insecure. Where did this idea come
It's
from?
not, here's the thing, it's
But
not
where
that
did this
they're
idea come
it's
from?
not
That
they're
if I'm
insecure.
wearing a wig right now, does that make me
It's
insecure?
not
I
that
just put it
it's
on
not
to
that
put it
they're
on.
insecure. It's that they just don't want to deal with themselves. I don't think they're insecure. Most Black women, they put on the weave and they swear that the shit on 100.
But if a white
And
woman puts on a wig, nobody thinks, oh, she doesn't want to deal with
because that's
herself.
her natural hair grade, nobody's gonna know.
Right.
If I see a woman with a bust down 40-inch, I'm gonna know. There's a difference. Oddly enough, when I see a Black woman and she's got her hair, let's say pressed, like with the pressing comb, even though it's straight, it looks different. It doesn't look the same as a white woman straight hair.
Okay, so what if a white woman has curly hair and she just put on a straight wig? Then what?
People are not gonna know. That's what they're known for, straight hair. People are not gonna know. We're dark-skinned people. We're people of color. People know that we don't really grow 1A hair. We don't have straight hair. There's exceptions, yes, but that's not the rule. The rule is that we have kinky hair, and we should embrace it. We should teach others how to do their hair. I understand people want to wear a wig or a weave because it's tiresome sometimes to understand, but there's a lot of deep roots, there's a lot of shadow work that's being overlooked. And for Black women, it's very important that we address these shadows. There's a lot of trauma associated with that.
Okay. I think still that I want to look at it like in a balanced way, because it's a discussion and I'm hearing everything you're saying, and I want to look at it in like a balanced way. But at the end of the day, I still stand with my opinion. Everyone should be able to do what they want with their own hair. Nobody is insecure because they put on a wig one day just because they wanted to put on a wig. Nobody's insecure. I'm not doubting the fact. I'm not gonna contest the fact that yes, there are some women, because like I said, I want to keep a balanced perspective. There are some women that do put on a wig. They do, because they do not want to see their natural hair, because they don't like to deal with it. There are women that do that. But I also want to say that there's also women who don't. They just put it on to put it on. They just put it on.
You can't just put a
Why
weave.
did they put it on? Why? Why did they do it?
Maybe they just want to change up the style. Maybe they just want to change it up. Maybe they don't want to heat style their hair that day and they just put on a wig. What's wrong with that?
You do not understand that other races do not feel the need to switch it up. Black women have the most.
No.
Wait. Black women, Black people, we can do different things with our hair that other races cannot do, because Black hair can be manipulated at a high level.
Which is true.
We can do box braids, twists, afros, dreads, slick backs. We can do so many different hairstyles. Even I saw a girl.
I'm half African, for the people in the chat. I'm half African.
I saw a girl on Instagram. She would shape her afro into like hearts, sushi, different anime characters.
Yeah, I seen her.
There's so much diversity that we can do. But every time you say you want to switch it up, it has to be a straight wig. Why does it always have to be a straight wig when you have to switch it up?
But it's not always a straight wig. Sometimes it's curly wigs. Sometimes it's water wave wigs. It's not always a straight wig.
It's always something other than 4C. We're trying to figure out why Black women have this epidemic of wearing something that doesn't reflect them.
Why is it an epidemic?
Because when I walk outside, I don't have a car. I have to walk amongst the general public. I see Black women, and 95% of them are wearing weaves. weaves, and it's not even done nicely. And the thing is, I've seen some comments say, "Well, you could just throw on a wig." If you got black hair, natural black hair, you can't just throw on a wig. You got to get it cornrowed down. You got to get it flat. That takes a lot of manipulation. It takes a lot of work. If you just throw a weave over and you got black hair, it's sitting on top of your head like a hat, and it does not look good.
I've seen people actually put a wig on without having to put on braids. They just put a slick back, like a really tight slick back, and it looks good.
And a tight slick back. Why do we? It's just, why do we have to hide ourselves so much? We're trying to figure out what is the wound, what is the trauma with a lot of black women that when they look in the mirror, they say, "Let me switch it up to straight bone, straight hair."
But this is my thing. It's not always rooted in trauma. It's not always
It
rooted.
is with black women. It is
insecurity.
because white women don't feel the need to wear Afro hair. It's not their hair texture. Some of them might do it because they have a black boyfriend and they want to connect with the black culture. But when we do it, we're trying to disconnect from the black culture. We are, whether you agree with it or not. If it quacks, it's a duck. And it's just so weird. It's too many of them. We're the only race on this planet running around taking hair off of people's heads and slapping it on top of our hair, smothering our hair.
We are not the only race of people that wear wigs. We are not the only race of people.
Well, smothering, yes, we are. White women might wear a clip-in or two. They don't smother their hair.
So would you? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just wanted to ask a question. So would you say that like you're fully against wigs, like against wigs?
I'm fully against weaves and wigs.
So let's say someone has alopecia, right? And they put on a wig. Would you be against it then?
No, I wouldn't be, because they have extenuating circumstances. Most of the people I know who have alopecia have gotten it from either perms or weaves or something with, like, you know how people used to do cornrows with the added hair, and the added hair would rub up against the scalp and cause a lot of breakage. My mom got some braids once, and she had to take them out her hair because she was having an allergic reaction. And that helped her lose a lot of hair too.
I just don't agree. I feel like everyone should wear what they want to wear. I feel like it's not that deep.
It is deep. And I understand, you know what? I understand where you're coming from. But I want Black women to see that this is very deep, because a lot of people are profiting off of us and our I don't want to say insecurities, but the fact that we're hiding our identity. A lot of people take advantage of that. A lot of people would be very much afraid to step to Black people in a particular way if their hair was presented in such. Weave doesn't say, "I'm smart and I will stick up for my rights." Weave says, to me, it says, "I've got multiple baby daddies. I might be a single mother.
Oh,
I might smoke weed." That's what I see. And that's what's usually the truth. It's not the truth all the time. Because some people wear it because they see mothers. And it's a generational thing. They don't understand how to do their hair. If Black women were conditioned to do their hair and see it as gorgeous, we wouldn't have this discussion.
You see, I was following you in the first part, but then when you started saying that wearing a weave is like saying that somebody has multiple baby daddies, or like I smoke, then you lost me.
That's the stereotype.
Because I feel like that's like a stereotype of Black people in general. That's not really like a stereotype for someone who wears wigs and weaves.
My mother was a single mother. She did it too.
Well, what does that have to do with anything? You said that wearing a wig and a weave is like saying, I have multiple baby daddies, I smoke, and blah, 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 like Black stereotypes. Anybody can have a Black stereotype against them without wearing a wig or a weave.
We need to make it not so easy for people to profile us. I've seen it. My mother had cop boyfriends.
People can profile you as a Black person regardless of whether you're wearing a wig or a weave. People profile you all the time. I wear natural hair all the time. I get profiled for stuff I don't do because I'm Black. That doesn't have anything to do with hair.
Actually, it can. I used to walk into a lot of beauty supplies, and we're very aware that a lot of Asian people would look at Black people and follow around the stores. Well, when I would walk into the stores, they would give me a curious look. They wouldn't really follow me. Then I also spoke Korean to them, and they were like, "Oh shit." They were like, "Oh, you don't have the extra. It's okay. You can have that. Oh, you take that backpack back there with you. You're fine." And it created this thing where now if another Black person walks into that shop with her hair, natural hair, they'll probably say, "You know what? The last time we saw a Black girl with natural hair like that, she spoke Korean, bought her stuff, and was gone." You know what? We're not going to stigmatize people with natural hair. I think the weave and the wigs were a trap for Black women. I don't want to see my fellow Black women hurt. I don't. I really don't. I don't have that in my heart. But I think a lot of cultures and a lot of other bad people with bad intentions have pushed weave and wigs towards the Black women. And they've used Hollywood to do it.
Mocha, do you understand like where the wigs come from?
No, I understand. I understand. Like I said, I'm trying to keep like a balanced perspective. I understand where you're coming from. I understand the argument.
But where do wigs come from? Like, do you know that?
I believe it started. I thought it started originally due to like discrimination. Black women were being discriminated against in the workforce, and so the popularization of wigs began.
But I mean, today the hair that Black women are wearing, you guys are literally wearing the hair that falls in the drain from Asian women and Filipino women. So they bundle up this hair that they brush out of their hair over years, and they sell it to wig makers. And then they comb it through, and then they sell it to you guys. So you guys are literally wearing the trash of other women. And do you think that's okay?
And sometimes it comes off of dead bodies.
Oh.
It does. Sometimes it comes off of dead bodies. Black people do not see Black people enough to give them respect. There's no telling where they get that hair from. We can all agree that Black people do not receive the best treatments. I've been to hospitals where white people have looked at me funny and did not want to give me or my mother the same treatment. So what makes you think they're giving you the best of the best hair? They might spray that shit with chemicals just for funsies because people are sick, and because Black people have not made a stand, people will get away with it. If Black people were to start dropping those wigs and weaves, you would even see Hollywood start to say, "You know what? Yeah, because when I wore it, I kept having a scalp problem, but my manager told me I had to keep going." We need to stop. We're not Hollywood. We are not Cardi B. We go to the hospital. They're not going to
all
trust
wigs are from like. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
It's okay. I just think Black women need to put down the wigs and the weaves because it's setting us up for some very dangerous stuff in the future.
Like how? Like what dangerous things?
Because that hair, a lot of people don't respect Black people. They don't. We might have some cool people, but on the whole, Black people see Black people on the bottom of the totem pole. What makes you think they're going to give you hair that came off of a healthy Asian woman? They're going to sell that to Hollywood first. The regular Black public, they're probably getting hair off of dead people's body, people who've had probably cancers, people who were deemed probably mentally ill.
Not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true.
Oh, yes, it is.
That
Because
comes
most
from
Black
people
people
not buying ethically sourced hair. Now, when it comes to people not educating themselves on where to buy ethically sourced hair from,
Unless
then, yeah,
you-
that's a problem.
unless you met that person and shaved that person's head yourself, they said, "Can you give me some money?" You shaved it yourself. You don't know if it's ethical. They don't have a camera there to tell you it's ethical. They could be feeding us a bunch of bull crap. They've been like Johnson and Johnson. They knew there was asbestos in that baby powder for a long time. Black women were known for using that powder. They said, "You know what? Let them use that powder. We don't mind them dying off. We don't know what they're putting in these weaves because we're not there. We're not physically there." They don't respect a lot of Black people in the medical field. Shit, you see that thing with the Luigi guy? They did him wrong, and he's white. What do you think they're doing to Black people? They're not giving us good quality. Most of these wigs and weaves and stuff, they could be sprayed with a lot of chemical and things that can induce cancers. I
I
hear
can
black
agree
women
with
say
that. I can agree with that.
we
But
think we
there
should put
are
it.
ethically sourced hair companies
We
that
don't
I'm not
know
just
that.
pulling it out of my. There are actually ethically sourced companies that ethically get hair. Like I'm not.
Guess who's getting that? Cardi B will get that. Beyonce will get that.
They don't just
That's
sell it to
ethical
celebrities. They
hair.
don't discriminate. If you have the
Oh
money,
yes, they
if
do.
you
They
have the money,
discriminate.
why would they not? Why would they not
Discriminate.
sell it to you? It's an online
But
business.
Because why would they give you that quality?
even if you are buying
Why
that
wouldn't they?
source hair, it's very expensive. It's thousands of dollars. So why would you pay that much money for somebody else's hair?
I mean, it's like you just said. If you don't want to get a bad quality hair or hair off a dead person's body, why wouldn't they pay it? And second of all, not every ethically sourced hair company is thousands of dollars. It's
Oh,
not
real.
thousands of dollars. Not every
Very
no.
expensive.
If they're taking long hair off an Asian person and they're eating good food and they've got clean long hair, they're not giving that to regular people in the public. They're going to give it to rich people first. Rich people always get the best first because they've got the money. They can cut out the middleman. They can get that. The regular person working at Walmart, they can't even afford regular human hair. The hair that they're getting is chemically treated. It's dirty. It's bad. I don't think Black people should ever touch wig or weave. It should be a stance.
I think Mocha agrees now. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not trying to tear down Black women because
I like
Black
I
women,
said,
they're
I'm
police
trying to see
cars.
both sides. I personally feel like if you want to wear your hair natural, wear it. If you want to wear a wig, wear it. Because it's not just black. I mean, yes, okay. Mostly you see black women wear weaves or wigs, but it's not just black women that wear weaves or wigs. There's lots of other races of women that do the same thing.
That's true, but the thing is, we can't tell because they're wearing their hair grades.
So
And what?
because we can't tell, it doesn't matter.
Oh, that no, it doesn't matter. You know why? Because they feel like they can represent themselves. That's their hair texture. They still represent themselves. If Black women walked around with 4C weaves, no one would really know. They would think, oh, that's their hair. But we're using another culture. That's where the energy, everything messes up.
I'm
Your
sorry. I have to
clothes
say this
burn.
again. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I am half African. I'm half African. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes the accent comes out, sometimes it doesn't. I've lived in this country and in Nigeria for a long time. I switch a lot. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead, Trent.
What's your point though?
No, I was just seeing people that were saying, oh, she's not African or whatever, or she's African. She doesn't understand. I'm half.
Okay. Well, what are your last words, Mocha? I'm gonna
My
get
last words. First, I want to say thank you for letting me come up. I think this is a really healthy discussion for people to have because I do see both sides of the coin. I understand. I feel like personally, I think, like I said before, people should wear the hair that they want to wear, but I think we do need to talk about, the issue in regards to like how Black women do feel insecure. Some Black women do feel insecure in their own hair, and that's why they're wearing wigs and weaves. But I also feel like we shouldn't just say we should ban it all or nothing. I think we should have like a balanced perspective of it. But that's just me.
Okay. I understand that. You have a great rest of your night.
Thank you.